Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? Michael Zuber, author, One Rental at a Time. And this is, of course, your daily financial news. This is a news show I do for you where I consume 60 to 90 minutes of material in the morning. And then I kind of share with you what I think are market moving, investing, consumer, real estate, headlines that should be important to your day. Again, I've been doing these daily shows for over a year now, thanks to the inspiration of Gary Vee and his conversation with a gentleman named Nipsey Hussle. A couple of quick announcements before we get into the daily financial news for November 15th, Sunday, November 15th. First, yesterday was kind of a disappointing day for me. Saturday, November 14th, we did our daily financial show at 7:30. Then we did about a 45-minute Q&A session live. We had some technical hiccups, right? We tried to do it over Wi-Fi and had to do it over my phone, but we got it done. But lo and behold, when I look at my statistics for the day yesterday, I actually had negative subscriber growths. I lost one subscriber yesterday. Now, that may not seem like a big deal to you, but for someone that gives freely, has enjoyed probably a year or so of pretty consistent growth, 10, 15, 20 subscribers a day, seeing that negative number yesterday was disappointing. I just wanted you to know that. I don't know. It just hurt, and I thought I would share that. Second, I was up pretty early this morning having to take care of my 15-year-old puppy. He's having a rough go of it, but I was up. So I've created 3 presentations for you that will be coming out after this. First, it's Sunday, so you can count on my weekly goals. That's a no-brainer. There's a playlist here that has my weekly summaries. But I created 2 presentations on top of that. One, some of you have been asking for a deal breakdown, so I've broken down a deal before and after and all of that stuff. So you will get a detailed review of a deal that's done. So you will see what we're doing. And then second, I did a video about my first 1,000 students, lessons I have learned from my first 1,000 students. I have created a course, both a free and a paid version, and we just passed 1,000 students combined. It took about a year, so I thought I would share with you what I have learned, both good and bad, in that experience. So with that, we will go ahead and get started. So first and foremost, the news of the day is Trump admits Biden won in a tweet this morning. There's going to be more to this story. The actual tweet read something like, Biden won because election rigged, something like that. But I think Wall Street, I think the media is going to come out and focus on the first part of that sentence. Trump admits Biden won. I believe what you're going to see the media talk about is a growing pattern of Trump acknowledging that at least for this election, it looks like he has lost. I expect him to keep fighting in legal challenges in that. But I think with the additional states coming on, and the need to flip more than one probably makes it pretty certain that we have a president-elect, but not done yet. But again, I think what's going to happen Monday is we're going to see a pop at the open at least. I think the media is going to talk about, hey, Trump admitted Biden won. Again, we're trying to get past this difficult Q4, and a contested election is just one of those things. Next up, kind of an interesting predicament storyline out of Asia. The largest free trade agreement has just been signed. It's been signed in the last 24 hours. It does not include the U.S. It is 15 Asia Pacific countries led by China, Japan, and South Korea. It's 30% of the global economy, 30% of the global population, and has over 2.2 million consumers. So this is a big deal. A couple things about this deal are interesting to me. First and foremost, the U.S. is not included. Second, it's really led by China. And third, the fact that Japan, South Korea, and China are in the same agreement. I don't know. I think that's market moving for me. Japan and South Korea have traditionally aligned with the U.S., but maybe in this global scheme of things, they are seeing a need to possibly have a second alliance with China. This just goes to show you that, when there are two big gorillas, the U.S. and China in this case, all this talk about a single world economy or whatever, one world order or whatever it is, I don't see it as possible. I don't see how that happens when you have two dominant forces, kind of heads and tails. It just, they kind of work against each other. So I'm not a particular believer in that. I know there are some folks that are, and some folks that follow me are really into that and have shared with me some pretty solid links. So I appreciate learning. I am freely admit I could be wrong. I just don't see how you get to one world order when you have China and the U.S. so diametrically opposed, really kind of equal footing, and not there's no chance that we kind of agree in my opinion. So interesting. I don't know if you saw this, but it looks like Chicago Mayor Miss Lightfoot has essentially canceled Thanksgiving. She has shut down Chicago for 30 days. I find it pretty interesting because just a few days ago she was out with thousands of her closest friends screaming into a megaphone. So I find it odd that that's okay to do, but you can't have dinner with your family. Kind of weird. Then we have good old Gavin Newsom going to a fancy restaurant in Napa where the average meal starts at $400. And he's out throwing a party with his friends and, his rich, I don't know what you call them, influencers, whatever they are, in White House. And he can do that, but we can't have Thanksgiving dinner with our family. This do as I say, not as I do mindset from leadership and governors and all that is very, oh man, hurtful, disappointing, disgusting, tragic. I certainly hope all of those mentioned get voted out of office for their terrible character. Kind of reminds me of was it Antoinette that said, "Let them eat cake." This is not a good look. We're in a pretty bad recession, California specifically, and yet our governor is flaunting the rules, showing his wealth by eating at a very elitist restaurant. So I hope people don't forget and they show Gavin the door when they get the opportunity coming up. Very disappointing. I've been reading a lot about Mr. Biden's kind of wish to cancel student debt, and I don't know how to feel about it. First and foremost, I think it's always important to understand where the person's opinion comes from. So that's what I'll talk about first. So I graduated undergrad and my master's degree. I paid for my own college, so that meant I had debt. I took on student debt, and I had to pay that off while going to work and sacrificing and all of those things that you have to do to pay for bills. I chose to go to college. I chose my degree. I chose to borrow, so I had to pay. It's kind of how debt works. It is the rat race, and again, your choices lead to the rat race. Also, our daughter went to college, and we had to pay for her university, so she graduated with no debt. So that was, our choice as well. So I don't know how to feel about canceling student debt. So here's what he's looking for. He's looking to cancel student debt, $10,000 for everyone. And then if you went to public, what was it called? Public universities or historically black colleges, and you make less than 125 grand, he's going to cancel it and bring it down to zero. This is going to be very impactful. That outline is going to cancel debt for 10 million borrowers. Going to reset to zero. It's about 1/3 of total outstanding debt. So that is, I haven't been able to figure out what happens to the actual debt. I guess it's owned by the federal government, so it just gets wiped out. I don't know I don't know where the interest payments go and all of that. So it feels like there was something else there. And then finally got some U-Haul rates. One of the things we've talked about over time is look at U-Haul rates to see what is going on with moving. So we did San Francisco to Phoenix and Phoenix to San Francisco to show you the power of the exodus from California. You need to look at the one-way rates. So Phoenix to San Francisco is $311. San Francisco to Phoenix, one-way rate is $2,500. So that's 8 times more. So again, lots of people leaving, not many people coming. This is just one sample of how you can use U-Haul rates to understand how the exodus is going, right? So if you're in the Bay Area and you're looking at Phoenix, check it out, right? LA to Phoenix, Phoenix to LA, you want to check out San Francisco to Sacramento, Sacramento, San Francisco, just wherever you want to go, you can go to U-Haul and really look at that. It's an interesting tidbit to check out. So make sure you look at that. At the end of the day, again, remember we've got some videos coming, a deal breakdown in detail, lessons from the first 1,000 students. I saw a couple of blurbs come up, people not happy with my thumbnail or my title for this video. Sorry if you didn't like it. I guess I apologize. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Happy Sunday. Bye.